Sunrisers Hyderabad have signed off from their home campaign this season in style. A 45-run win against the Kings 11 Punjab, a game that both teams wanted to win to keep fate in their own hands. But it was led yet again by David Warner. 81 of 56 after R. Ashwin won the toss and put the Sunrisers in 212, proving to be far too many. And in response, KL Rahul once again top scores. It was an innings of two halves. He took off pretty much after all his partners at the top of the order had already gone back to the dugout, and that 79 of 56 in the end was not to be enough. What it does do is it not only gives Kane Williamson side a couple of points, but just muscles up that net run rate. It could very well come down to net run rate as we look at this final week in the IPL 2019. On ESPN Cricinfo MatchDay T20. To look back at that game, Sean Tate and Kartik. Game settled at halftime for you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And within the first 3 overs as well.
When Chris Gayle fell.
And to be really, you don't want to be critical of somebody like KL Rahul who's got runs, but I think his power play record just through the IPL, I don't think you're helping the team scores.
Okay, let's get into that in detail before we even get Sean Tate. Let's get our matchday match points underway as well, and we will talk about that KL Rahul incident in just a bit. But let's start with David Warner. At the end of it, Eddie, in a big game that they had to win, it's not been great, their form of late, and it's something that we spoke of at the halftime show too. It caps what's been a phenomenal comeback by David Warner to high-profile cricket.
It does. Fantastic IPL. You can see it means quite a bit to him, I think, this franchise. Obviously, that win there looks very jovial and happy at the end of it, and obviously knows he's heading off too, and he's sort of left with the orange cap on his head, which is a great achievement, and he's probably set up Hyderabad now to have a good run at the top 4.
Yeah.
So it's good luck to him.
I mean, I'm not surprised that he's done well, but from an Australian point of view, are you a bit surprised as to how well he's been? He didn't look rusty at all. Someone like Steve Smith still looked like he was rusty when he started the season.
Yeah, the first game he played this IPL, I was back in Australia watching him before I came here, but he just started off with a bang and then just kept going on after that. So, and it finishes with a great innings on a high as well. And that's the difference, that power play, the way he played compared to the opposition. That's the difference in the game.
Tough shoes to fill now.
Oh, we've been saying this for a while, isn't it? One man gone.
Yeah.
So both hands which were clapping hard, both hands are gone now.
I mean, but to full credit to him, you've got Johnny Bairstow who's left, but that partnership is stitched with Bairstow. If anything, while Hyderabad started the season well, they have David Warner to thank. Not only did he start their campaign well, but on his way out, he's ensured that they remain as alive as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that must have been on his mind when he would have started the day today, that at least sign off on a high note. From your point of view, just leave on a winning note so that at least with 2 games to go, they're in a decent position to make the playoffs. I'm pretty sure that must have been on his head.
It caps what's been a wonderful season for David Warner. We won't see too much more from him, but he's bettered his own record of the highest batting average against spin in a single season. That's phenomenal. 210 against spin. We talk about foreign players playing quality spin in the IPL. Terry, he's probably the best in the world in that front. There's AB and there's Butler and whatnot, but Warner's numbers against spin just in his own league.
There's a couple of guys now that are getting better at it, that's for sure. Warner goes after it as well. He doesn't just play well, he hits over the fence as well. So, I mean, you talk about World Cups and adding him to an Australian side, the fact that he can play spin like that as well, against any team that's going to toss up some quality spin from around the world against Australia, he's certainly going to hopefully get him off to a good start.
All right, good luck trying to find a replacement for that. They do have Kane Williamson who can bat up. They have Martin Guptill waiting in the wings. Ridhiman Saha shown promise as an opening bat, but none of that even put together comes close to the impact that David Warner has had. He leaves IPL 2019 on a high, and I won't be surprised if he sees this kind of form in the World Cup in less than a month's time. Let's move on to KL Rahul and the point that Kartik did tease, and it makes for a curious conversation, because you break down that innings just a little bit and you'll see that at the point at which the 2 wickets of Nicholas Puran and Ashwin fell back to back, that's the end of the 13th or 14th over. I'll just stick that out for you. He's still going to run a ball then, Kartik, 39 of 36. So he's effectively going to run a ball for 13 overs of that innings.
No, not just this game. You look at so many games. There have been curious strike rates of 35, 45, 50. And that doesn't help. It's not about what you do in the end. Either you're a Dhoni who finishes games and comes, or you are somebody who tees off from the word go, so that you're putting pressure on the others. It's not about you coming up with a red ink and coming unbeaten. A player of his class, I'm a bit surprised because you can't be striking at 145 in the middle overs, and when it actually makes a huge difference, making or capitalizing on the power play, you're striking at less than 100.
I mean, it's not only about playing the way Dhoni does, but even Dhoni, you won't see the middle overs where the required run rate goes up to 17 or 18. That's too much to ask for, as much as the talent that is in this Punjab team.
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably just say, oh, look, we lost Chris and we lost another wicket and blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you're chasing a total like that. You just got to get after it. If you get out, you get out.
Now, when Mayank Agarwal was batting, they just lost Chris. So Mayank Agarwal has lost his wicket so many times, trying to make up for what KL Rahul has been doing. So, and which was the 15th or 16th over, you're trying to defend the ball on
15th over. He played a back foot block.
Back foot defence too, I think.
And I mean, you can't be doing that. You're chasing a score like that. You got to tee off.
No, I mean, the two guys after him, after Chris Gayle, that is, Mayank Agarwal and Nicholas Puran together have hit 48 of 28 balls. And at that point, Rahul's still working around. I'm confused as to what role he's assumed for himself there. Could you explain it?
I've got no idea.
Let's say you don't agree with it, but what can you explain? What sort of role he's either the team's told him or he's decided?
Even assumption is a bit perplexing for me.
Sure.
Because I'm not able to assume what sort of a role he has taken on himself.
Is it that lack of confidence in the rest of the batting? So Rahul says, "You guys go, I'll go ahead. I'll go later."
That's what it's been a few times this season. But when you're chasing 212, you can't. You have to tee off. It's as simple as that. If you want to even go close to winning the game, you've got to take a chance. Even Dhoni does that sometimes. He takes a chance, he hits out, and he gets away with it sometimes. And you've seen some guys like Hardik Pandya. I know he's a proper finisher, but he just takes it on, and if it comes off, it comes off. If he gets out, he gets out. That's 2020 cricket.
Yep.
You've got to win the game anyway.
And it needed a start.
They've still lost by 45 runs.
Yeah, it's not even come close. They needed a start. You think they needed Chris Gayle and Rahul to really give them a start. And once Chris Gayle went, they didn't get it. And power play numbers suggest that Punjab have had a problem in some regard to this, because Chris Gayle also tends to take his time at times, but he's a different sort of beast. KL Rahul too. If you look at the numbers, then they've got the third worst power play numbers in this year's IPL.
Yeah, I thought it was the second worst because at some stage it was second worst. I didn't know that there was somebody even better than that.
Yes. There are a few teams that have been taking their time.
Yeah,
at
so
the top.
look,
But
the quality
point
which
is
they
well made.
possess, the quality which they possess. I thought that power play batting was a lot more easier with the way they go about it.
Yeah.
So the question you asked me, what has he assumed for himself? I have no idea.
All right. Well, maybe Punjab would rue the fact that KL Rahul from last season didn't accompany Chris Gayle from this season and make it a match that could have at least gotten closer to these sorts of chases. But questions still remain in spite of what looked in the end a very good innings from KL Rahul, at least on the score sheet. Rashid Khan's got a few wickets amongst him, so let's focus on him because we did think that Rashid Khan's stopped taking wickets in clusters. I guess steady to a degree helps when you've got over 200. On the scoreboard.
Yeah. No doubt, yep, absolutely. But at the same time, he's 3 for 21.
Yeah.
Going at fives. He's back. So that's he was never going to go for a big streak of games getting slogged at the park. He's too good a player for that. So it's good to see champion bowlers or champion players always come back from a couple of bad games. No matter what the circumstances were, he's still got great figures.
And with David Warner gone now, it almost assumes Rashid Khan is the lead X-factor overseas player. Might have started just winning you games, bat bowling first or second.
Yeah, crucial for overs, and boils down to the captain when he wants to use him. It's good that guys like Khaleel, look, you have to give Khaleel a lot of credit.
Sure.
We're forgetting the fact that from the time he has come into this team, he's added a lot of X factor to the team. Because the kind of ball or the kind of dismissal for Chris Gayle generally dispatches them to the long on or the long off boundary.
Yeah.
For him to get out, and then KL Rahul, and even the way he bowled, I think he bowled with a lot of control. Yeah, there's something, he's quite passionate about his bowling. It's good to see that. And you can't take away his role. And Bhuvaneshwar Kumar makes a big difference. So all these guys do play a huge part.
All right. And Rashid Khan, as good as he was last season, he was good in a good bowling attack. This year that bowling attack's been hot and cold. Now you have Khaleel Ahmed, who's added a bit of bite, like Kartik says. That could play well for him too. If there are fast bowlers getting wickets at the top, all of a sudden you have the middle order exposed to a Rashid Khan.
Absolutely, and then they're obviously going to have to, if they're losing wickets, the run rate's going to come down the top. They're going to have to try and hit boundaries in the middle, and if he's bowling, he's going to take wickets when they're trying to hit boundaries off him. So more often than not, that is. So yeah, but I agree. I mean, Khaleel's been fantastic since coming. He's big scalps as well. He takes down the big dog batsman. So he's a bit of an X-factor.
Would you give him a quick last-minute entry into that rich string of reserves in the World Cup?
I thought he was there.
Is he already
not
there?
there?
I think there are three guys. Navdeep Saini is definitely there. Deepak Chahar is there. I can't remember the
surprised
third.
that
Is
he
it
is not
third?
there.
If it is Khaleel, I stand corrected. But yeah, there's a case. There's certainly a case for
No,
him.
but not just quickly on this basis. It's a bit.
Okay, but he's been good
Yeah,
for
but
Sunrisers.
he's been good for
Let's
Sunrisers.
keep the conversation limited to that. He's been very good for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Now the Kings 11 bowlers, that's a bit of an issue as well, and they failed to support our Ashwins. We'll have a quick chat on that. It now does seem, as we look at the points table first, because you look at where Kings 11 Punjab stand, and we'll come to that in just a second. But our Ashwin, it's been we teased this pre-game too. Ashwin good, Shami, not quite sure what you'll get from him. But if you look back now at Punjab and you think they're not going to leave it in their hands, will they go down as a team whose bowlers haven't quite clicked?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And even the batting, could they have done a lot more? Can they do a lot more? Because they have the kind of batting. You look at Miller, you look at Puran, you look at the top two. The top two are as good as anyone else.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Bairstow and Warner, Gale and Rahul are equally good because of the kind of players they are. But yeah, as you said, bowling, and again we'll keep harping on the same bit. 2 or 3 batsmen can play the entirety of 20 overs and get you a score. But 2 bowlers can only bowl, if 2 good bowlers can only bowl 8. So you need a well-rounded group of bowlers to deliver time in, time out. Yeah, the odd bowler is going to go for runs, but on the whole, you need at least 4 guys to do well in a T20 game.
Can you sympathise that 2 of his overseas bowlers, in Andrew Tye and Hardisfield, and maybe I'll throw in Mujib as well, 3 overseas bowlers have not had the season that Ashwin would have liked them to?
Yeah, you can a little bit, no doubt about that. Again, though, do you look around the globe and think, okay, you pick these guys, is there better out there? I don't know. I look at T20 cricket around the world, and the first thing I would be doing is getting a good bowling squad together. Because more often than not, they seem to win championships.
Right. If you just look at where Punjab find themselves on the points table, that's the reason we're having this conversation on a slightly morose note for them, because we do see now with the net run rate of minus 2.96 that they 0.296, sorry, that they would find it hard if they are level on points with either Kolkata Knight Riders or even the Sunrisers Hyderabad at the end to figure a place into the top 4. They've not left it in their hands. Did they sort of overachieve in the first half? Some results that went their way. They beat Mumbai, they beat Delhi in a dramatic fashion.
Look, they were strong at home, and that is one thing which you want to do.
Yeah.
Because if you can win half the games at home, it makes things easier when you're travelling away, because certain things could go against you. Obviously, it's not your home territory, and travelling in this heat, IPL takes a lot on the team. So winning at home is a cushion for any small mishap outside, but doesn't mean that you shouldn't do well when you're travelling. So yeah,
makes a good point, Murli Kartik. 4 out of 5 wins for Punjab at home, and they'll be relieved now that at least their last 2 games will be at home, albeit against tough opposition. KKR are hungry for a playoff spot too. We know they can be dangerous, like we saw last night against Mumbai. And then you've got Chennai, arguably the best team in the league, that closed their campaign on the final day. Is it looking gloomy for Kings 11 for you?
I didn't realise who they had coming up. Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't look good.
not really. Not playing against those 2 sides, but they do play well at home. But right now, you'd have to be backing against them probably.
All right, let's have a quick look at the Fab 4 results between Sean Tate and Murli Kartik. And Teddy's given us one for the archives. He's done so well. He got David Warner and he had Chris Gale, but I think so did Murli Kartik. So the difference would have been his Afghan picks. And he thought he picked Rashid Khan, the only Afghan that would have actually got you some serious points, but you picked everyone else, Teddy. Well done. 135 points.
Pretty much sums up my Fab 4.
And let's have a look. But Mujibur Rahman actually picked up a catch, so thank heavens. It's short
Wasn't
final.
that great though?
160. Mayank Agarwal and Ridhiman Saha just managing to get Kartik over the line.
by how many points? 40 points.
Yeah, it's 135 to 160.
160, yeah.
It was close.
I honestly
25
think
points.
So 24 days I've been here, I think I've won 20. I've lost 20
Yeah, sure.
at least.
Good numbers at least. You've been consistent. Well, Sean Tate, it's been an absolute pleasure having you through the course of the IPL. Thank you very much for joining us on ESPN Cricinfo for Matchday 20. Kartik, a pleasure. You'll be off to be Bangalore's lucky charm again, and we'll see you in a couple of days back in studio. Good day then for the Sunrisers. Hyderabad, David Warner leaves this IPL on a high. So does Sean Tate, or actually not quite. And we will have the pleasure of his company again soon too. We hope to have the pleasure of yours for tomorrow's game between RCB and RR, 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time for build up to what will be match number 49. Story from the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium is that the Sunrisers keep their campaign alive and very much in their own hands.